Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. We got a really great one for you today. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about the unofficial uniform breakdown photo from Trek movie. Then we're going to talk about some stuff that we got regarding the new short treks coming out soon. And we're going to talk, of course, a little bit about the Picard trailer. Let's pour it up. Woo! Okay, so it's good to be back. I know I've been out of pocket for about a week now. I'm well rested. Family has left town, so it's back to work, back on the grind of Ketwolski. We have a bunch of new Trek news that we need to get through. So first up, let's go ahead and take a look at this fun little graphic made up by Aaron Harvey over at Trek Movie. And this is kind of a collection of all the different stills, leaked photos, and some from that, upfront teaser that we saw. Kind of put all those things together and gave us an idea of what these uniforms are most likely going to look like. Aaron Harvey has apparently also done this when we had the teasers for Star Trek Discovery, and he was pretty spot on with all of the different tidbits and details of the uniform. So I'm pretty confident we're going to see either exactly this or something very, very close. Now, I know for the most part, people are okay with the uniform. The thing that seems to be kind of, messing people up a little bit is the split Delta badge. Now, I'm okay with the split Delta badge. It's not that big of a deal to me. I just know a lot of people are saying that they really wanted it to look like, the TNG badge or something close to it as kind of a homage to the Next Generation, or something that was kind of off from the movies that we had, at the end of the Next Generation cruise with Nemesis and Insurrection and stuff. I know some people were looking like that, but it was also pointed out that the badge, while it does share the split from Star Trek Discovery, also kind of looks like the Star Trek 30th anniversary logo, and it kind of has that same kind of circle to it, and then it has the same similar like hooped badge. It's a little bit more angled on the bottom on Aaron Harvey's picture, but it does have some similarities to the 30th anniversary image there. So I thought that was kind of cool as well. But overall, I think this is a fine looking uniform. My gut is telling me that we're not going to spend too much time really on Earth or with people in Starfleet, because especially considering in the trailer, it looks like Picard's been out of Starfleet for a little while. So we may not be spending too much time with them, which is maybe why they don't have the most quality uniforms, and we're only going to be there with them for a little bit. I don't know. That's just a theory on my part. But anyways, that's just kind of something I wanted to share with you, because I know a lot of people are complaining about the quality of the uniforms and things like that. Okay, so next up comes from a Reddit post that was posted up just a few days ago from user the Scrollius Scribe. I don't know how to say your name. Sorry, bro. But this basically showed off a filming notification sheet from Chaos Theory Productions, and it says at the top here, by way of introduction, other than the fact that these guys and gals absolutely need a new friggin' proofreader, but it says, by the way of introduction, Chaos Theory is producing 4 short for Star Trek shorts. They will air on CBS All Access in the US and on Crave and Sci-Fi Network here in Canada. They will air before our season 3 premiere of Star Trek Discovery, and this includes all the information that is related to this particular filming location, which in this case, it is 1 Spadina Crescent, building. 1 Spadina Crescent, which is an academic building of the Daniels Faculty of Architecture at the University of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. So it looks like they're going to be filming in this school for a few days. And so this is kind of really interesting. I know there's a little bit of rumors that the, short treks weren't going to be coming back at any point in time. And there's also some rumors that Star Trek Discovery Season 3 was only going to consist of short treks. So there was a few of those rumors kind of circulating around, and I think this little blurb at the top kind of pushes those aside and says, no, we're filming 4 short treks in preparations for Star Trek Discovery Season 3, and they will air before Discovery Season 3. So that's really great news. This is really interesting. I know there was the idea that there was only going to be 2 short treks, but apparently they're going to be doing 4. I'm just assuming that based off of the fact that there's a 4 short in that description. I don't think they're shooting all 4 short treks at this location. I think that's just a canned statement that they're probably putting at the top of all of their filming notification signs that they're posting out for wherever they're doing. Well, in conjunction with this particular image, another user over on Reddit went ahead and updated some 2 photos that they took kind of the trailers of some of the actors that were on set on location. And this is from user, I don't know how to say your name either, Azendel. And we get a photo of 4 photos here of these trailers. And we see one that says stunt teacher, one that says just Trill, one that is Bolian, which if you guys and gals remember is the blue kind of characters, the blue aliens from Star Trek. And then we have Purple Alien. Now, purple alien could mean a lot of different things. There's a few different purple aliens that have cropped up inside of Star Trek before, the big one being that actually was named were the Binars, and it could be the Binars, but most likely not, because the last time we ran into that species, they weren't really super friendly with the Federation, and they were kind of off to have a hearing about how they took over the Enterprise D computer to save themselves, but it was still a big deal. Another one could be from something called the Violations, or the Violations. This is from Star Trek Online, and they went ahead, Star Trek Online, Cryptic Studios named this race because there were purple aliens inside of the episode, the TOS episode, Journey to Babel, and inside of the Babel conference, there was there's purple aliens inside of that conference that weren't originally named, so they named them the Violations. So I think that's kind of interesting that we know Star Trek Online's developers and their lore team have spoken with the Picard production team and given them information about some of the things that they've done and some of the stories they've done inside of Star Trek Online. So this could have been part of that discussion. It could also most likely be something to do with the Romulus situation. And all the post-Romulus stuff that happened inside of the game. They could be trying to connect the show into that, but they could have also been getting information about these Violations, and maybe they're going to be using that for the short treks. I know they're two different productions, not to say that Picard is the same as the short trek productions, but we obviously know that there is a relationship between Star Trek Online right now and the current filming Star Trek shows over at CBS. So there's obviously a relationship there, so they may have actually shared some of that. So it'll be quite interesting to see how that unfolds there. So I'm curious to see what this is going to be. What's fun about shooting on location is the fact that really, honestly, it could be anything. This building could be reutilized for any purpose. My guess is it's going to be possibly something inside of Starfleet Academy, or maybe even a secondary school away from Starfleet Academy that maybe some students go off to in a different country or something like that, that they experience some kind of there. But they could just be using the interior of the school as filming grounds for Starfleet Academy, and I feel like it's going to be that because we have stunt teacher, and I don't think that all of these three people are going to be at stunt school. So I think they're going to have a teacher there, like an actual teacher there. So that's at least one of the short treks that we know of. So props to both of you guys or gals or whatever that uploaded these onto Reddit. This is really exciting news. It's really fun to see that Star Trek is kind of popping up all over the world and kind of getting their filming started and stuff like that. It's very excited to see. I'm super excited to see and learn anything about what this, new short trek is. And as soon as I get more information, I'll be passing it off on to all of you. Okay, so the last thing we need to talk about is the Picard teaser trailer. Obviously, from the visuals, Picard is back at the Vineyard. From the voiceover, we learn that 15 years prior to this conversation that someone from Starfleet is having with Picard, that he led one of the greatest rescue armadas in history, and then something called some unimaginable event happened, and then he left Starfleet. And then at some point during that time frame, either before the Armada, him leading the Armada, or right afterwards, he was promoted to Admiral. Now, what I believe, I don't know for sure, but based off of past information that we've gotten about the show, which is that this is going to be centered around the destruction of Romulus, I believe that 15 years prior, the Picard that we knew from, the original TNG show, the Picard that we knew, led a rescue armada into the Romulan neutral zone to try to save as many Romulans as he possibly could in case that Spock failed to stop the supernova from destroying Romulus, which we know from Star Trek 2009 that he did, in fact, fail from stopping the supernova from destroying Romulus. So I believe that the unimaginable event is that the supernova was destroying Romulus and then essentially destroyed the Star Empire along with it. And then something happened that either maybe he felt guilty he didn't save enough people, maybe he felt guilty about, not saving the planet itself, or maybe he just saw some really messed up stuff during that, evacuation that it just rattled him too much and he had to get out of Starfleet. So I think that's what they're referring to. And all of these things put together, we know for a fact that the Romulus supernova happened in 2387, and now that we have a bit of a time frame with the 15 years prior, we're going to be sitting in the year 2402. Now, 2402 has not been officially explored in Alpha Canon at this point, but it has been explored by Star Trek Online in their lore series that the developers created that led from the end of Star Trek Nemesis into the beginning of the game, which was 2409. So they have this whole lore series called The Path to 2409, and it breaks down all of this information and kind of spreads it all out and kind of gives you a whole bunch of beta canon knowledge that, again, we know the Star Trek Online folks have spoken to them, and this was most likely what they were probably talking about. They were probably talking about, hey, what did you guys do from the end of Nemesis to 2402, and what can we pull from there to input into our show? And I think that's great. I don't know if they're going to do 100% word for word, line by line and every single story beat, but I think it's really cool that Star Trek Online is kind of getting some of the attention that it deserves. I know a lot of people criticize the gameplay, but I don't know too many people that criticize the lore and the missions and the stories that really they pumped into that series, because a lot of them are really, really good, and it's really interesting to read. Even though it's beta canon, it's still a lot of fun to kind of see where a bunch of writers sat in a room and said, okay, we're going right after Star Trek Nemesis, what happens? And they figured it out. So it makes sense that the people at Picard would want to pull some of those ideas as well, so that they don't have to retread new ground and kind of have some place to kind of stand on. So I'm very, very excited about that. I think it's going to be really cool to hopefully see this armada. I would love to see Jean-Luc Picard in uniform one more time. Hopefully we'll get some flashbacks, or maybe the season will open with this thing and then we'll cut to him at the vineyard or something like that. I think that would be great. It doesn't seem like now that he's retired that we'll see him regularly in a uniform, so it would be awesome if we got some flashbacks to see Jean-Luc Picard in uniform just one last time. That would be great. And maybe even on board an Enterprise or something else. That would be really cool. Maybe, I know maybe I'm just being a fanboy, but I think it would just be a lot of fun to see that. It would make me very happy. It would make me very, very happy. Also included with the teaser trailer came out the brand new Picard poster, which I just love. They're really playing up the vineyard stuff here, but this is a really great looking trailer. I love the look of the, the vegetation kind of making the delta, and just everything looks really great. I really like the poster. I thought that was really well done. I'm excited to see if we get any kind of fun poster that includes maybe some ships in it, or maybe something, that leads more into the plot, because I like spoilers, I guess. I don't know, maybe I have a problem. But I do love the poster. I thought it was really well done. All right, and the final thing we have to cover is the comment of the week. And this one coming from John Toothhill Jr., which is a name I just love. By the way, it says, "Whew, the fuck is this Picard shit coming out? Question mark. And is it going to be on CBS All Access? Question mark. If it's going to be on something I have to spend extra dollar bills to see, fuck it. Because I hate what CBS did to Discovery. Twilight Zone isn't bad, but not as spooky as the original. John Toothhill Jr. I got news for you. Yes, it will be on CBS All Access, and yes, you'll have to pay more money for it. So I'm sorry to say, I guess you can just keep watching the Orville. Not a big deal. Anyways, guys and gals, that wraps up today's news video. I have another video coming out very shortly where I'm going to break down the year 2402's lore from Star Trek Online, and hopefully try to connect that back to Picard's show. Hope that you guys and gals enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys thought of the Picard trailer. I thought it was great. I'm super excited. Goosebumps. I'm hyped. I'm super hyped. But let me know what you guys thought of it. What do you guys think of that fun, little information we got about the short treks? Who do you think that purple alien is? What do you think they're doing at that school? Let me know what you guys think about that, and what you finally thought about the uniform image from Aaron over at Trek Movie. And I will catch all of you guys and gals next time. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies!